Hey, good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Dresdale. Thanks for coming back, and I hope you're enjoying this series. So far, we're just filling out this area here. People are actually starting to move into these blocks, so you know what? We're gonna let that go. I thought maybe there was something bugged with why people aren't moving back in here, but maybe not. Maybe we just gotta have some patience. Alright, so I told you about this, I think, last time. Things are going to start burning down in our park because we unlocked the fire helicopter depot. Tent number 2. Okay. And so that, you know, gives you the ability to put out fires that are off-road. So then you start having fires on assets that are off-road. And I kind of mentioned that sometimes it's just better just to let things burn down. Like the tents cost what, $200? And the fire depot, let's see, I think it was like 12 or 1400 hours a week. It's here, 1400. Yep. So, you know, we'll just let it burn, and then we'll replace them until, you know, probably until we either unlock a tile that's pretty centralized to our city, and then we'll put that fire depot down. That way they have access to the whole city. We only need to put one down, and maybe until we either build the amusement park and or the zoo. So I think I was saying before, those assets are a little bit pricier, right? So zoo assets I think are the most expensive. Yeah, 15 grand here. 18. Okay, so see, it's starting to kind of like, okay, the numbers are getting a little bit bigger. Maybe it makes sense. 25,000. So we don't want to like replace our elephant exhibit every week, because it keeps burning down, right? We would rather put a fire out there. But if a tent burns down, you know, for 200 hours tent, you know, that's not necessarily a bad thing. We'll just let it go. Hopefully the people left before it completely burnt down, and then we don't lose any campers. And yeah, it's moving in. Okay, I was just getting a little maybe paranoid or something with that. Alright, we need we need all three. So let's see, what kind of spot are we in with our power is a little low. So maybe we'll put some power down. We're actually killing it with the water, so let's adjust the water budget. Maybe 75 and see how that goes. What do we do here? Yeah, how do we do that? Ooh. Very close. Alright, let's do like 85. So we want to check it for a little while. And just in case you're not aware, down at the bottom right here, day, night, the triangle. It's like this purple one, so you can adjust, and that's for nighttime. So if you are playing on day-night cycle, you know, some things you want more of during the night and less during the day. In general, you tend to consume less electricity and less water at night, so you'll see that your demand goes down for both of those things, so you could adjust those budgets down. You know, maybe you want to have more trash during the night and less during the day, and try to promote your trash to go out at night. I guess, I don't know, I never tried it, but maybe that's something you could do. I feel like you do get more crime at night, so you could maybe have 100% police coverage at night, and maybe 75 or 80 or something, I don't know, during the day. It's the same thing with the fire, but the opposite. You're supposed to get more fires during the day than night. But it's there to play around with. I tend not to micromanage this. The PC has mods that actually micromanage it for you. Once we kind of get to that like 30 or 4 tiles worth of build, I just kind of let everything be 100%, and as you just build things, you just have a little bit more, and then you keep building more stuff, and it consumes it, and then you need more of the utility. You put another utility down, you have a little bit of extra utility, now it's okay, and then you just keep building and it, you know, kind of goes up and down. Yeah, that's that. Loans. We didn't have to take any loans, but you can. You take them, and then you can just read the tips. You know, you take it, you pay low interest. The bigger the loan, the more interest you pay. That makes sense. This kind of gives you your information on your taxes, you know, your income, then your expenses are on the right. Well, actually both are on the right, but you get your income here. I guess you can dive a little bit deeper into it if you want. So we can see that we're making, you know, 14,000 on our light residential. Well, obviously that's all we got. So 0 on the high density, and so on and so forth. You can see what levels you got. So we got a good amount of level 4, got a good amount of level 2 commercial, and 1 and 2 on our industrial. And we'll look at these from time to time and kind of talk about them and see, you know, how different, you know, where all the sources of income are coming from. Same here, just let's give you all your sources of income for your transportation, so you can see if you're breaking even or you're spending a lot. I have found, and just in my play, so you know, could be different in your world, that buses you can make a profit on or break even. I never really put down trolleys. Tram, you can make a profit fairly easily. Not, I don't say super easy, but fairly easily. Maybe that's just because I use a lot of tram. Metro, you can make a profit on. A train will crush you. And I never really paid attention to these ones. Taxi, you kind of seem to break even, or maybe get about halfway to even. I don't really ever put these down. And post offices I don't really use too often. They just add traffic. Usually my residents are like 93 or 95% happy, and at level 5 anyway, so what's the point of putting that down? I mean, I don't know. Well, we get them to 96%, and then also add a crap ton of traffic. I mean, but realism, if you want to have a nice post office or something, that's cool. So maybe we'll put it down just to kind of see how it works out, and maybe we'll figure out a way to make it better. And then we can talk about why I don't usually use them. We can see the effects. Trains. Why are trains? Trains are expensive, and cargo trains, I think, are added into here, which, you know, don't have passengers, so don't add money, I guess, to your, you know, your revenue. I guess you're exporting goods, so that should show up somewhere. I don't know where that shows up. Maybe it's your industrial, unless it's taxes. So I don't know where, like, your export and import, you know, cost to import and, you know, profit to export comes in. Maybe somebody does, and you can put it in the comments below. Does it like add to your train, or, you know, whatever method that you are actually exporting? You know, so like if you're using like the cargo harbor or something like that, does that show up on your boats? Here. You know, or like say you're using the train station to export, does that show up here? I don't know. Okay. Well, we need a little bit of everything. Let's go ahead and start building our farm. Why not? I like farms. Farms are nice. Maybe let's build them with dirt roads. It's kind of that kind of fits the theme. So I need to look at the. I can kind of see here. And here is my fertile land, right? So I'm just gonna blow this up for now. Maybe we'll run like a road right through the middle, like a curved road. Why not? That wasn't the curve tool. Oh, 1, 2, thank you. Let's see, gotta see what's going on. Yep, something like that. Then we'll do something like You want our farmer to come right in here like this? You always want like a road right here. Let's do a road right here. Boom. That's our farm. Yay, farming. And we will do like a normal road, like connected to our 4-lane road up to like that second segment. Maybe, I don't know what we'll put here. Yeah, let's do it. So let's put a couple of farm buildings down. So we'll do like one. Let's try that, see what we get. And then we're gonna have to bring power to them because we don't have anything else built over here. So when they pop up, we'll just build it off of here or come across here. So that should help with our not commercial industrial demand. And as you can see here, we are exporting generic goods. I have some forestry, so these buildings are exporting. That's okay. And some ore material. You know, it looks like we're both exporting some raw material because these guys are our extractors, correct? Let's see. Yep, for corporation, and they're pulling out ore. Mining solutions. Yep, that's an extractor, right? This is uranium. That's a processor. It's making ore into uranium. This is making copper. Uranium. Man, uranium. What are we doing? Making nuclear bombs over here? Zinc and iron. So we're making, these are like our processing buildings and these are like our extracting buildings. So they're exporting, which is fine. We're exporting most of our goods here. So we don't need like more of this, right? And then these guys are exporting. These are making like our wood. I think it's called plain timber or something like that in the industry's DLC. You can make paper and plain timber, I think it's called, plain wood, I forget. Pellets, a pellet's paper, or it's actually, yeah, it's your paper. Original wood, it's like your timber. Same wood products, pellets, paper. Fine furniture is kind of like a unique factory that will make, that will put down, that actually makes, you know, the unique fine furniture. And of course these are Woody's woods and all that stuff, and they're the raw material. So you can kind of understand, like once you start playing Industries DLC quite a bit, you'll kind of see the actual buildings, you know, because we'll basically be putting down the extractors, the processors, and then well, he's not exporting anymore, and the unique factories. And then when you build these, you can kind of get a good idea, like, yeah, which buildings actually do what. So what are we actually exporting? Importing. We're also importing. Who knows why we're importing? Why these guys are exporting? I don't know. It's because the game's the game, and that's why. There's not, you know, no rhyme or reason why I'm over here making, you know, raw wood, and then you're over here importing it to make wood products, and we're exporting wood over here. And he's down the street and he can go say hi to Joe. Hey Joe, I need some timber to make some wood products. So I want to make some furniture. And then, you know, he goes, nah Steve, it's better to sell it on the open market to our competitors over at Paulsboro. And he's like, oh geez, okay, I gotta import now. Right, like these guys are importing. Print shop. They're probably, I don't know what they're, but I forget what ore. You got glass and you got metal. We don't have any glass in here, I don't think. So they might be importing glass. But anyway, forestry, we're not exporting any forestry. I'm not forestry, excuse me, farming. So we need farming. And it looks like we got something. Let's see. Let's come down here for now. And then as we expand, we can get rid of these lines. And did we do water here? Ah, we did. I don't know, we just knew it. We knew it, we felt it in our heart to be true to put water there at the time. Hey, everyone filled it in. Alright. The tiles weren't like broken like I thought. It was just me being impatient. And didn't have to redraw stuff. Okay. I mean, I like to be wrong. It's okay. It's okay to be wrong once in a while, right? You learn something and you just say, hey, next time just be patient. So that's good. That's real good. That means we can keep zoning. We don't have to worry about these like not come filling in. Because they will eventually fill in, I guess. We want more people. 6,200! Oh my lord, we're almost there. Exciting, exciting. It's just exciting to get high density office, and yeah, it's just it's probably the best milestone to hit. After that, like I said, the only thing we really need to do after that is get crematoriums so we can empty out our cemeteries. Then if you want to stop building your city and just like have like a small city that's at what, like that's probably 12,000 or whatever, 14,000, man, then you can just be done. Like I'm done. I'm not going to get any more milestones, not going to unlock any tiles. This is why I'm going to build this map to be, you know, this nice small cottage village type, you know, build. And you can, you're like I said, you're done. You don't need to unlock anything else, I think, after that. I mean, you can, of course, you know, you got unique buildings and stuff to unlock, but once you get here, you have crematoriums, and then there's nothing that's going to prevent you from, like, your city from going any farther. I don't think. I think you're fine. You don't need, like, no hubs. You don't need ferries in a game. You don't need a university campus. You can put down university, just regular or the first one. Trade school. You don't need helicopters. You don't need nuclear power. And these power options, like nothing is in here is what you need to like keep going. You don't need to have an airport or cargo airport. You don't need a monuments. You can just fine without them or any of these air stuff. But you need a crematorium, or else you will stop collecting bodies, run out of room to put down cemeteries. Oh, the other thing burned down finally. Like you'll run out of space after a certain amount of time. Tent number one. Come on, tent number one. Why are you burning down, buddy? To put down cemeteries. You know, those have all these cemeteries all over the place that are flashing with the little full sign. Bodies. And then bodies will pile up in your city. And people will leave because they have bodies next door, or their bodies in their apartment. And they don't want to live next door to a dead body, starting to smell, whatever. And then your city will fail. But all the other stuff after that, your city will just go it'll go on just fine. You can put more windmills down for power. You don't need airports. You can connect your city to trains, bus, intercity bus connections, harbors. I hope that makes sense. What do we got here? Juice. We'll make us some juice. The juice is loops. Alright, so orchards and so livestock is a processor. I imagine juice is a processor in this game. It was like a billboard. Like, that's weird. So orchards are raw producers. Bread is a processor. And then we should get crops. We should get like a farm field that produces crops. So orchards produce crops, and like farms produce crops. Bread and Beyond is like your bakery. And then you can get like flour mills and like little animal pastures. So that's Mary's livestock. This produces animal products. just kind of give you an idea. Once again, like I said, once you learn to use the industry DLC, you kind of like learn, okay, buildings do what. Alright, let's do a couple more people, and then we'll just keep expanding. I think we're going to hit 3,500. I was really worried about not getting it, but we're going to smoke that, actually. Probably because the buildings are leveling up, and, you know, higher level buildings hold more people and employ more people. So, you know, our city's starting to age a little bit, which means, you know, people kind of graduate through grade school, you know, elementary school and high school. So, you know, those buildings are starting to, level up. We have decent, you know, entertainment stuff with our parks, so it makes people happy. You know, we put down, you got good coverage everywhere with our police and fire and all that, so that makes people happy and want to level up. The only piece we're missing right now is transportation, and that'll make people happy when you put down transportation. That'll level them up. That'll get them to level 5. R4s will go to 5 once we run to bus routes. But I just really haven't, because I don't know, we're just kind of experimenting and running down the bike lanes. And people are using them. Like I said, the taxis aren't going to be our main source of income anyway, so. See, like they're using it. And that guy, he just said, yo, I'm just going to ride this thing. Where's he going? Let's see, where is he going? Freaking biking guy, you're so fast. Where is Rosemary? Her. Where is Rosemary going? She's there, back. Okay, so you can click on people. You can follow them. I'm gonna follow you, kind of like on Twitter. I'm gonna follow you, right? You can see where they're going. She's a cleaner at M&H Clothing. So she's going here. So she is biking literally across the whole entire city. You see that? I think you can hit follow again. Oh no, right here. Then we'll go back and see her. But she is biking all the way. It's a shame you can't see actually her moving. You know, sometimes you get like a highlight on her. Let's go back and see if she got all the way here already. We just me rambling on for like 10 seconds. She's like halfway there. We picked on her. She just made the turn at high school, right? So she's kicking butt as far as like getting where she needs to go. Maybe because I didn't click on her. Or I clicked off her. It's like when you click on them, you get this like little thing. Now you can watch them. Watch them moving. Come on, Mary. You can do it. You're halfway to work. You're a bike enthusiast. I said she works here. Whatever that was. I lost the building. Okay, so it's here. I want to see where she lives. We're stalking Rosemary. We're stalkers today. She lives at the Empire Residence. It's like over here somewhere. So she literally bikes across the whole entire map. Well, like I said, it's the power of biking. Bike lanes and setting up your bikes. You don't need mass transit. I'm telling you. You can do a whole entire city without mass transit. Like 100,000 population, 90,000 population, I think my city was. Not one thing had mass transit. And it had like 90, I think it had like 93 or 94% traffic. Like what it is now. Then I ended up putting in mass transit. Night traffic actually went down a little bit. But I moved some more people around. I guess, I don't know. I was like, I just felt weird not having like a train hub. Like a bus running anywhere. So you can't build a whole entire city without transit. You just let people bike where they want to bike. And they do this. And they go through your gate, and they pay. You make a little bit of money. Level up your parks for you. And they go where you want to go, and you can kind of control the traffic. Yes. Oh wait, what was it the next one? Nah, my buddy. My friends. Oh, this is a great day in history. You get a lot at this milestone. Do we get a tile too? We could talk. We could do our campus. Oh yes, we could actually fill the space in. We'll do the trade school first, I think. We get Metro, which is a really nice form of transportation. If you don't really want to see the, I think on one of the videos I was talking about you can't see it, and I said monorail and accident. It's Metro, I meant to say. So hopefully it didn't beat me up too bad on the comments section when I was talking about that. But free lunch is our campus thing. Okay. Yeah, Metro's nice. I did the calculations and actually doesn't cost a lot to run the tunnels. I think it's the same cost as a level road. I could look it up real quick. So I know I kind of talked about this before, that it costs more. You know, the cheapest kind of roadway is the level road on the surface, and then it's more expensive. And I'll kind of give you some numbers real quick now that we're talking about it. There we go, right here. So the 2-lane road is $3.20 for 10 units. I just did one length of road, right? So $3.20 for a level road. It was $8 for a raised road, so about 2.5 times that. And then a tunnel, a 10-unit tunnel, is $19.20, so 6 times. To give you an idea, like how much more expensive it is. And 2-lane with trees, pretty much the same. Has the same raised and tunnel because you don't have trees on a raised surface or in a tunnel, so they're the same as the regular 2-lane road, but they're $4.80 for, because I think they're 40 cents a tile. The segment, the 4-lane road is 2 times and 6 times, so it's like weird. It's not like consistent. So like where the 2-lane road, it was 2.5 and 6 times. The 4-lane road is 2 times and 6. Highway is 2.1 times and 5.3. Just came out like they were all like nice round numbers, and then the highway was just like these weird numbers. I'm like, what are you doing? You have the ability to make these nice even round numbers. Just do that. Just make it 2 and 5. Why did you make it 2.15? And I was like, did I do 11 tiles or 9 tiles? Maybe I did, but I'm pretty sure I had the guys on, so I'm pretty sure I had the right segment length. Metro track is $6.40 for 10, so 64 cents a piece, and then it's $9.60 for a raised Metro track. So it's like 1.5 times. To see already, it's less than roads, any of the roads, and it's $6.40 for the track, for the tunnel. So the Metro level and the Metro tunnel are the same price. So building Metro, it's not like you're building like all these tunnels that are giving you like 6 times the cost to put like a line on the surface, which is, it was surprised to see that, you know. I was like, it was one of the reasons why I didn't build a whole lot of Metro to begin with, because it's like I might as well just build like a monorail, right? Because it's like above ground. It's not going to cost me anything as much. But then when I did the numbers, the testing, no, it actually, the tunnel and the level track is the same cost, 64 cents not a tile, you know. Well, I guess, yeah, a tile, a segment. Train is 2 times and 6 times in terms of raised and tunnel. Monorail is the same because it's always, you can't do a monorail tunnel, and it's always elevated, so it's $12.80 for 10 unit monorail, which is more expensive than the Metro, but less expensive than a raised train track. And then I did tram. A tram road was 2 times and 4.5 times a tunnel. And I didn't look at like backing out the road cost and seeing like with the actual tram, comparing that to like the actual tram. I think this was tram. This is tram with road. I thought this was. So road with tram, I guess is the right way to say it. Not like the tram track. It might have been. Maybe I just didn't do a good job notating it. I think I did. Or maybe it was tram track. Well, I would know if it, whatever it is 50 cents a click, because that was the level, was $5.60, whatever one that was. We can even check that now. We can later, because I want to look at these things first. But that's like just your idea. So basically, so in general, with roads, it's about 2 to 2.5 times more expensive to have a raised road than a level road. or a surface road, and then about 6 times more expensive to make a tunnel. So you really don't want to make a whole lot of tunnels if you can help it. Same with your train track, monorail, doesn't matter. It's always the same cost. Metro is surprisingly the same cost for level and tunnel, and it's not that expensive to raise. That's like the gist. So if you, instead of making a race section, raise the land. You know, and that's how they do it in real life, right? When they make a bridge and make an overpass, they do all this stuff. You tend to make like a like a ramp, like a land ramp, and then they didn't make a small section of bridge. They don't like raise the road on all these pillars usually before like the intersection or whatever. They move the land around because it's just, it costs, you know, probably a little bit to move the land with all the machinery, but then once you move the land, it's done. There's no like maintenance cost. The land's done. You formed it. Whereas you build like a bunch of raised stuff for tunnels and all this, and you gotta like constantly maintain it. So that's kind of like realistic. What was I gonna do? Put the cell phone away. Oh, we got IT cluster. We're not gonna put that in this part of town, but we have it. Those are the tallest buildings in the game. I think they're probably this is tall. I don't know if there's any unique buildings taller than that. There might be a few, but they are tall, very tall. Metro, they're taller, I think, than the density self-sufficient. So Metro, so Metro's good. I used Metro a lot. My first handful of cities, and it was really successful. All the infrastructure's on the ground, so you don't have to like worry about, you know, changing roads or, you know, clogging up traffic. So it's really helpful there. So it's really good for high density commercial. Not so good for high density residential. I mean, you can. It's just it's noisy. So you know, you just gotta either build a couple offices around it, demolish some stuff, put a little park, and some trees or something, and then it won't be so bad. So just be mindful of that. You get a lot of noise complaints, or just let them complain. We have health clinics, and they can go to the health clinic and get their ears checked, whatever they do, to resolve that. Education boost, we'll use that to we'll probably use that actually pretty soon. For-profit education. I never used that. Maybe we'll use that now. Well, not right now, but during the city. Tourist travel card. I forget what that one was. It's tax relief stuff. You can play around with the taxes if you want, but I usually let go or leisure. Automated tolls. I have put down some tolls, and it makes some money. Like a couple $1,000s a week. Nothing like, not crazy money or anything, but it might discourage cars from using that road. I feel in the gut, you know, that it could reduce traffic. Like say you put a toll on your highway, it might force them in different routes. But that's just a feeling. I never like looked at it, took screenshots, or counted the cars that go by in a certain time interval, and then put the toll in and then looked at it to see if it was reduced or not. It could just be, you know, my misinterpretation of reality. Industry 4.0 we'll use, but not yet because we don't have college. We don't even have the college down. But we're going to do that. Now now we have a lot left. So we got to rezone some stuff. We got offices we can put down because now our so now, like, we're exporting all those goods, right? So we don't need more yellow generic industry. But we still need jobs. So offices will solve that, and we can align our big roads with the offices. And then, because no one goes to offices, I talked about that before. If you watched another video, we kind of went over like how people move around, you know, between the densities and residential and commercial and offices and all that, and no one drives to work in offices. You put a bus route in an office, it'll have like 3 people on it. But it's just, I don't know. I might have like 20. You only need like 1 or 2 buses for like the whole entire area. Like half a tile worth of office space. And they'll be full like people. It's just like, it's weird. The game's just weird. Like the numbers are unrealistic. Like you'll have an office building that's like 10 stories and they'll have like 4 workers. And you're like, oh, like 4 workers. That's like just the reception desk in the office. Like not mentioning like 10 stories worth of offices that should probably have like 100 people on each floor. But, you know, that's just the way it is, and you just gotta sometimes stretch reality a little. Metro, tolls, you know, like I said, we're gonna put down a university, so we got the incinerator. Prison, you can put down a prison. I sometimes do, sometimes you don't. We have enough jail space. We will always have enough jail space. The way I zone, you know, place my police stations, which I think I talked about the last video, and kind of like the methodology on that. Oh, I have some homework to do, some number crunching. Fire towers. Oh man, the unsung heroes. They're awesome. They're cheap as can be, and they work really well with the fire depot, helicopter depot. And we got the police helicopter. We'll put that down too with it. We'll finally put them within the same area, and you'll see like helicopters with like spotlights flying around your city, checking people out. Like, what are you doing down there? Solar updraft. We can put that in, because that'll, you know, we'll put that in the industrial area. It's we'll do the math on that, but I think it's pretty cheap. Might be just a little bit more expensive than wind, but not by much. Maybe, or it might actually be lower. Might be like $8 a megawatt instead of 10. So if we put that down, we'll probably demo all our other stuff and just go with the cheaper option. And they produce like 250 or something megawatts. Well, I'll take a look. Hot air balloons, yeah, it's kind of like, to me, kind of gimmicky. But if you want to see hot air balloons float around the city, they're cool. They're basically like, it's not like, I don't know why it's in the transportation section, because it doesn't like transport people. I don't think it's just like, to me it's like a leisure thing. It belongs in the leisure section. Now you tell me in the comments, post a link to something, or you know, your own videos explaining to me, you know, how is the transportation? Do they like float from one, like if you put two down, do they float from one to the other? So I only ever put like one down, and I just see them floating around looking at things, and that's cool. But we got the bus, intercity bus hub. So like I said, I don't really use bus hubs. 9,000 is our next one. We'll get monorail cable cars. Like I said before, cable cars are the unsung hero. They can move a ton of people. And you don't have to do anything. I've never adjusted the budget on them. I don't think you can adjust the budget like internally, because there's no like lines per se. Within small business and big business, benefactor enthusiasts, so we'll use those. You can do high-tech housing. That's okay. Alright, and then we get some of the bigger platform stations. Some people use the end station, and that's good for looks. I tend to just put down the multi-platform train station. That way I always have the option to expand in both directions, instead of having an end station. But then in your city you might have a multi-platform train station that just doesn't have anything connected on the one side, and you might be like, I don't like the look of that, so I want the end one. And just do the end one. We will use a ton, not a ton, but we'll probably use half a dozen or so of the, oh, it's not there. There it is, Metro Monorail Train Hub. That is probably, to me, that's the best hub in the game. It costs the same amount as one train station and one monorail or one metro, and you get 1, 2, 3, 4 trains routes that don't overlap. You get 4 monorail routes that don't overlap, and you get 2 metro that don't overlap. So you get you can build a ton of transport out of that thing. And you see, I don't know if you know what I mean by don't overlap, but there's a way on PS4 and probably Xbox that I discovered 4 cities back, and we'll do a whole like episode on transportation when we start putting this down. I'll say this again and label it in the video so people can like go out and see it. Maybe I'll do a tutorial on just how to build train stations and metro and monorail. But I've built probably 6, 10 cities. I had no idea that you could put, like I knew you could put the, you know, alright, so let's go back a step. So on your train, monorail, and metro line, there's a platform. There's 2 platforms. So you can have the train kind of pull up, you know, and dock on the right side and let people in and out on the right, train pull up on the left, dock and let people on the left side. But, and in PC, you can just click. It's easy because you got the mouse. Maybe if you had the mouse hooked up to the PlayStation, it'd be just as easy. You can click on what side of the platform you want your route to start, and you can pick. And that way, what happens is, you know, you have a route going out, say, to the north, and a route going out to the west, or they both going out to the north, but one splits and goes east, one splits and goes west, and instead of both those train routes going to the same platform side, so they'll say the right side, and then one train pulls in to let people out, the other one kind of sneaks up, and now it's waiting, right, to unload. And then what can happen is the trains start backing up, especially you have a lot of trains on the route, because it's waiting for the other one to pull out, then he has to pull out, then that one goes in, and sometimes you get two or the one, you know, waiting, because this is like a whole thing. Instead, what you can do is you can put one route on the right side, one route on the left, and it looks pretty, right? Both trains can just pull in, and you have two trains at your train station, and one lets them out on the left, one lets them out on the right, and they never interfere with each other. That's why they're like separate lines. They're like non-overlapping. And on PC, you can just use the mouse and click. I was like, I was trying like forever. Like I said, we could put one down. We have the money to put one down. But like I said, when we build we'll go through this in detail, and I'll show you. But let me go back to that picture. I was like, man, I was like trying to click with the little circle. Like, man, trying to click this side. I was like, man, it's not working. This sucks. And it was really frustrating when you're building these multi-platform train stations, because you technically have 12 platforms. It's 6 tracks, but each track has a left and a right side. So you have 12 platforms. So in theory, you could build 12 non-overlapping routes. You can have 12 trains pulling at the exact same time, and it would probably look amazing, letting out hundreds, 240 people a piece. So you're letting out say 3,000, 2,500 people, with 12 trains, and all these people just pile out and pile in, and it would probably look awesome, right? You'd be like, holy cow, I just put this crazy, massive train, transport system. You'd be like real proud of your work, right? I was like, so I would build those, and I was like, man, let's try. Sometimes they would work, and I couldn't figure out. I was like, man, sometimes it does it, and sometimes it doesn't. And I was building these loops to try to get the train to like go in one way and come out the other way, one-way track, all kinds of stuff to make it work. And it's you don't have to do that. So hopefully, if you're doing that, you don't have to do that. There's a way to get it so that you can determine what side of the track it's going to snap to. And then life is like amazingly easy. Your transportation is amazingly easy with your trains, your monorail, and your metro. So you can, and you would have noticed that on metro it's really simple. If you build like a loop and you go counterclockwise, the loop goes counterclockwise, and then if you go clockwise, the loop goes clockwise, and you have two loops, one clockwise, one counterclockwise, and they both use the same time. And that's what I'm talking about. The trains, the monorail, I didn't have no idea how to do that. Yeah, I just figured it out. I don't know if I was looking at the metro and I was like, oh, but basically, it's the short answer is when you click on the platform, depending on your starting platform, determines what side of the platform you're on, and you're always on the right side. So if you have two stations, we'll say station 1 and station 2. If you start at station 1 and go to station 2, you'll start on the right side platform station 1, and you'll end on the left side platform at station 2, and you'll come back. Then if you run another route from station 2 to station 1, you'll start on, let's see no, you can't do it that way. Can you do it that way? I don't think you can. We'll do it, and then we'll see it. It's a little hard in my head to try and figure it out, but if you basically, depending on which station you start at and end at and come back, determines what side of the route, what side of the route clicks to, and then vice versa. Then if you go the opposite direction, it should go the opposite way, and you can use both platforms. And it's like amazing, because then you don't have trains waiting to go in. You can use it doubles your capacity, right? Because now you have trains that can offload on both sides instead of on one, which means less train congestion, more efficient routes, and the world is an easy, lovely place to be. Yeah. Hydro. Yeah, I wish we could do hydro. It's the cheapest form of electricity once it works. I've only had it maybe 2 cities out of a dozen or so that was actually really applicable. Alright, so high density. Well, maybe, oh, so we're on the wrong little campus. So let's do a campus? Because we probably have time, or we probably have demand for our, college folks. The city's starting to mature. Let's zone some people out and put some people in. And then we'll look at maybe, we'll do some zoning, and we'll make it so that maybe we don't get like huge tall skyscraper type high density residential, and maybe commercial in this part of our town, our city, by using the historic button. It's a little tedious, but if you're going for a certain look, take the time to do it. And if you forget, you go out and build a campus and come back and you got this huge monster building, just blow it up, try again, and go, oh, make sure I come back again. So it's not like it's the end of the world. And we'll do leisure. So I think we have already tourism. So we'll do a tourism and leisure spot. I think we started one, but then we were like, well, let's move back a little bit off the road, because we build these hotels that are like monsters. And we were going to try a high-rise band. So let's try that. I want to try high-rise band on our tourism section. So maybe we'll make the tourism section. How do we want to do that? Where do we want to put that? Let's start painting some things here. Let's go here. We'll make some money while we do it, to let it run. Something on fire. That's okay. Let's say, so this is all organic. We did a pretty good amount of organic, actually. And maybe we'll do like... I'm not going to have a whole lot of tourists, because we don't really have any connections out to the outside world. So these are going to get mad and they're like, well, we don't have enough customers. But then they'll go abandoned, and then they'll come back, and they'll go abandoned and come back, and we don't care. You say, okay, you gotta live with it, buddy. So we'll do that. We'll start it out here. And like when it snaps to this, it doesn't create like a goofy little bubble thing. Maybe we'll do like something like that. We'll just leave that like that. And we'll fix it. And we'll do like here. We'll do some light commercial on our main road. Maybe here on this side. Do some office space here. And then we'll do high density, like along this strip here. And then we'll have these buildings here. And like, hopefully we'll have a couple cool like restaurants and stuff. A couple nightclubs, which they do like light up at night and stuff. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. I don't think they do. I was looking at one because like I said, I had the day-night cycle on. I don't really notice anything different, but. And then this might prompt us to use some more transportation modes, transportation. And we will, when we do that. Oh, sorry, I thought my cell phone was telling me it's time to shut up and start the next video. So when we do the modes of transportation, we will try to not do such that we bypass our economic engine, which is our park right now, making lots of money, right? So, and we're going to make more because we're going to put more people in the same space, and so it's higher density, and we'll make more money. So we'll probably get into the 20s. So it'll be okay. I mean, it's nothing game shattering, earth shattering. Universe destroying, apocalyptic, but it'll be nice. We'll start getting to the point where we can just like throw down whatever we want to do. We don't have to worry about money. We can terraform what we want. Spend millions of dollars terraforming flat the whole entire Earth. Man, we don't have to worry about it because we don't care. We do what we want. This is our city. I think I said that before. Agent Smith, this is my world. I was watching recently clips on some different movies that maybe I reminisce on because they're all older now. It's been so long since I watched them. A couple Matrix ones. There's a couple channels that like just have like 5-minute like clips on like certain like scenes. Like the end fight might be like 2 or 3 clips on the third Matrix. I forget what that one was. So it's Matrix Reload, Matrix Revolution. I think that's right. I want to say that's right. Not that I'm a huge like Matrix, like it's the best movie ever fan. It's just I just was recently watching it, and I was watching Equalizer. That's a good movie. It's a pretty good movie. Some of those like kind of like fight scenes, I think are pretty cool. Kind of do like the slow mo, like he's like looking at like, you know, they look into his eyeball and he like kind of like perceives. You can see his his perception of like, you know, what he's about to do and everything. And you know, that's kind of cool. So maybe we'll just make this our fishery area, and we won't put any commercial, because we have a commercial area back here. Maybe we will make this commercial. We'll just make this like our commercial center, kind of like the heart of our district. And then we'll have at night, you know, we have two like different, you know, little residential kind of suburb community type areas, and then we'll have a third one here. And then maybe we'll do like a little farm section here. We'll have our campus here, and then we'll just do like the fishery here, with maybe the fish processing up here or something like that. And maybe a couple light residential stuff, and we can leave it a little open if we want. We don't have to zone every inch of the planet here. And at that point, we have, I think, 2 tiles in the bag still. Now my phone's telling me to shut up. So I got a few minutes before I got to end the video, because like I said, in PS4 you got an hour tops. So, and I think I was talking about to do my exit, and they cut me off, so I gotta edit that video. Let's see, tiles. Yeah, we have 2 available, so we could build our industry. Get these 2. What we'll probably do is like expand maybe down here. Obviously we don't have any highway, so maybe we'll go here. That way we can get the highway connection and bring the highway in. Because if we expand here, like, the only mode of getting people to this place is going to be this 4-lane road here, which will become very busy and traffic blocked, especially since we're going to put a lot of commercial here. So that would be a fatal mistake probably. But we will bring that road in, and we'll bring in something, you know, we'll do like probably like a trumpet off of that, hit that like farmland patch maybe, or come, you know, maybe we'll have to rebuild the bridge, relocate it a little bit depending on it, because it looked like we didn't get a whole lot of highway on this tile, but maybe we get like kind of like up to that point where it's a little elevated, then it comes down kind of flat, and then we'll build the trumpet right on that flat piece. Or maybe we'll do like partial elevated and partial flat trumpet, you know, or something like that. I like the trumpet. I feel like it's the best 3-way intersection that you can build, and it's the simplest. It's simple. I think it handles a lot of traffic. I mean, that's what the trumpet looks like. It's a little bit skewed, that's all, but that's the trumpet right there. It's just a little fancy, I'd say. It doesn't have to be all that skewed looking, but it looks good. That looks good. The one we're going to build is going to look pretty good. And then you can kind of go online, Google what the hell is he talking about trumpet intersection. You can just Google like, see Skylines highway interconnections or highway interchanges, and you'll get like a bunch of builds out there. And there's some, it's like CZD something. I always want to say Caesar, but that's not what it is. He does a couple of really good videos on, he's got a pretty good channel, and he does some really good builds on how to build these bigger interchanges, like the trumpet, the stacked. I think he did the double trumpet, the turbine, and the windmill, and probably a couple others. I think he did a thing on roundabouts that Ray and I had. He actually built each one to kind of show the different flows, decorations, and paths, and all that stuff. So it's definitely worth a watch if you're wanting to build some of these more complicated type intersections, and you know, keep your traffic moving. As I tend to just do the trumpet. It's once you build it like once or twice, you don't even have to look at it. You know, you watch the video once and follow it and the guides and all that. Okay. And then you do it like 2 or 3 more times, and then you're like, you're good. And then you don't need to look at anything, you just build it. And this will be interesting because it's left-hand traffic, so I'll have to do like the opposite of what I'm used to doing. But I guess you just change the road arrows. Probably just build the same thing, change the arrows, directions. So it won't be difficult. Same thing with the stacked. A stacked interchange is pretty good. It's a 4-way. I would say it handles like moderate traffic well. Heavy traffic it doesn't do as well. but you can in the double trumpet it's a little bit more complicated than the stacked. I think it probably handles a little bit more traffic. The turbines and stuff like that are really good, but they're big. And the problem with PlayStation 4, you know, and probably Xbox, is you get 9 tiles, so you can't take, you know, on PC, if you know, you go on the forums and Reddits and all that stuff, and you see people building these elaborate 4 or 5-way interchanges, and they look pretty. They take like hours to build, and they're really nice, and you know, it can really be a nice feature of your city. It's just they take like a tile to build, right? They take like half a tile to build. When you're on PC and you got 81 tiles, yeah, you can take a tile and build a 5-way mega, you know, interchange. It's cool because you got the space. But on PlayStation, you know, Xbox console, you got 9, so you can't use a tile to build a interchange because what are you gonna? You can't even connect it to anything. It had to be in the middle tile. So if you build it on one of the end tiles, well, then it's just going to go nowhere because you've taken up most of your tile space. And what are you going to feed? Like 4 streets worth of high density residential? Yeah, so some of them, at least in my opinion, maybe you've done it on PlayStation and good for you, and maybe it's worked out in your city. It's just to me, in my mind, I just feel like some of these get elaborate, they look good, they're very functional, they just get big, and then when you start taking, and you have an interchange that takes up, you know, like this much freaking space, well then what are you gonna do? You got, you know, you're not gonna have anywhere to build. So and then if you don't have anywhere to build, then you don't have the traffic, so you don't need to interchange, right? So I feel like I said, Trumpet and the stack are pretty compact, and they handle moderate traffic, which is probably all we're going to ever generate on PlayStation. Now I've seen people build 500, 600,000 people population on PlayStation. You know, this grid, I think all 9 tile grid, every, you know, terraform flat, you know, everything. You know, as a kind of like a challenge to themselves to see how much they could get. I can only imagine that it runs like a snail's pace. It would be so frustrating. And I even was going back and forth when it's like, yeah, you had to like zone some stuff and like wait like a month because for the death waves and everything, and then zone some more, and like the game just ran super slow. I feel like the sweet spot's like 75 to maybe 150. Once you get past that. I think once you get kind of past 100,000, you're gonna notice it, but it's like still like livable. And then once you get to 150, it's like, oh geez, like the buses are like burn down the road. Like who's like stop freaking like hit the brake, man. Just drive. And it's like, nah, I'm driving. It's just like time is not passing. I'm in like a time warp. I'm like, yeah, now nothing I can do, bro. And that's why I don't think we'll ever get mods on PC or on PS4. Maybe on the PlayStation 5. I don't think the PlayStation 4 is going to be able to handle it because some of the mods like TMP take up a lot of like processing power. I can only imagine, like you had TMP on here, and I had like 100,000 population, would probably be frozen. Probably get the blue screen. So when you ask, oh, are you going to get mods? Probably not. I don't think the PlayStation can handle it. At least the PS4. Some of the, like the full package. Maybe, like I said, maybe if we could just get like editing the arrows or something, which would be a game changer in itself, right? Then maybe that doesn't use up so much memory, you know, so much processing power, and it doesn't destroy our city. So if we could just change that to straight instead of straight right, so this jack off doesn't turn like this, right? That would be a game changer. Or like if we could just use traffic lights. If we could do that, maybe do traffic lights and change the timing and have left, you know, turn arrows, cross traffic turn arrows. That would be a game changer. You know, just those few things right there. Or if we could just change the speed of the road, you know, that would be a game changer. So some of these things are really awesome to have because you can, if you know what you're doing, you can really manipulate traffic by changing speed, changing arrow designations, changing street light timing. But then now you're adding a bunch of stuff. I definitely don't think we would ever get like the node manipulation. That's probably the most the memory could, you know, using part of TMP, I imagine, but maybe it's not. And for those of you who have like, what are you talking about? I don't even know what TMP is. Traffic Manager President Edition. It's a mod.